Hello, this is Michael Rieger with Broadside of a Barn Precision. Tonight we're doing our second video. We're hoping to kind of really expand upon some of what we've talked about and kind of go over some stuff and also talk about some stuff that I've posted on the Facebook page. We're going to start out with tonight, we're going to go over my rifle, which is a Tikka T3. It's a stainless steel 24-inch barrel and receiver. It's in an MDT LSS chassis. As of right now, it just has a standard AR-15 collapsible buttstock, but hopefully towards the end of the month, MDT will be allowing us to be part of the beta test of their fixed stock adapter and the fixed stock. Excuse me. Their fixed stock will have an adjustable comb and length of pull, and hopefully it'll be a real good follow-up, especially for some of the issues we've run in with this rifle. We've added a mag pull Picatinny rail on the front, where we have a 20 MOA scope base in Picatinny fashion. We're running an SWFA Super Sniper fixed 12 power scope, and we also have the 2-inch sunshade and Butler Creek scope caps on it. One thing we did add to it that is not very readily available item from SWFA is a set of zero stops produced from a gentleman off Sniper's Hide forum page. We will include a link on the Facebook page to these. For $20, it looks like he made them on a 3D printer. I could be wrong. But what it is a zero stop. So we have it zeroed for 100 yards. And with the zero stop, when we actually come back down, it'll actually come to a point where it stops. And then how I have this set up is I actually got to come one rotation back up, so that if in the event I do have to go down more in elevation, I have it. Another thing we've done to the chassis is we've put spray-on bed liner on the front, so if we're doing barricade shooting where we're not allowed to use the bipod, it won't mar up the front of the rifle. And as always, we have a chamber flag inserted for safety, so we know the gun is unloaded. But we've added the bed liner here, so when we come up to a barricade, it won't tear up the rifle too bad. With going with the MDT LSS chassis, we're given the option, given the ability to run AI standard mags, which have kind of become the standard magazine of precision rifles. The 10-round magazine is what we will be running primarily in any match we have. One thing that's real nice, again, our rifle is unloaded, that's real nice about the Tikka, it has a very smooth action, and for competing in the stock rifle class, is probably the best receiver I've found in the available price range for myself, and really for the beginners I feel that this is probably one of the better options. It's also got adjustable trigger. We've weighed ours. It was from the factory, they say it's 3 pounds. Ours came in at 2.6 pounds. Again, it's a real light trigger pull. One thing we will be changing out is the bolt handle. We'll be going with a larger bolt handle. One thing that's real nice with the Tikka, right in here, this bolt handle, when you disassemble the bolt, can actually come apart, and this just pulls off, and you can add the new one. With Remington 700s, you actually have to mill down this portion and actually weld, or at that point thread on a handle, so it's kind of a little better. We're also running the Harris style bipod. We will be actually getting a true Harris bipod that swivels to account for cant. And we'll go in later videos of why that's important. We're also running just a standard AR buttstock right now. We put more bed liner where the cheek well is. Right now, my sight picture is I can't get high enough into my sight picture, really comfortable, so I actually have to come off my cheek a little bit higher up. So that keeps my cheek from moving. When we get the fixed stock from MDT, that should solve a lot of the problems. We do have a limb saver on there, as I don't have a muzzle brake yet. And especially with just the hard plastic with an AR buttstock, after about 60 rounds in a match, my shoulder's hurting. I actually ended up bruised the other day. So the limb saver, good $20 investment. The other real good thing though with the collapsible buttstock is the length of pull is adjustable, and that was really important because I learned, as you can see right here, that I've got the lowest setting ring so that my scope sits as close to the barrel, so it's almost as true of a picture as I can get for my line of sight. Problem is right here, because of my parallax adjusters here, I really didn't have any ability to move the scope too much for my eye relief. that's a fair amount about the rifle. We are going to go over shooting the other day with Sean. I posted some videos, and I'll include some more. Sean and I went and shot over at Creekside. We shot from the 100-yard line. We shot confirming 100-yard zero, and then we went on to shoot his AR-10 and shot this rifle some more. I kind of got him convinced to go with the MDT chassis. We'll see how that works out. I believe he's getting a bolt gun fairly soon if he's not gotten it already, or he's going to be getting one. I believe he went with the Remington 700 just because he was already kind of planning to go that route. He had considered a Tikka, but with anything else working in public safety, you got to kind of go with what you're dealt. But we had a lot of issues with his AR-10. We were just kind of, our best groups were maybe at 2 inches. And we've kind of gone through some troubleshooting to see where we're at. One thing we discovered, he had a variable power scope. But one thing I completely forgot was whether or not to decide if it was to figure out if it was a first focal plane or second focal plane. And why that's important is a first focal plane variable power scope, the actual reticle where it's located in the lenses, when you zoom in and out, the reticle size will change because the mil marks on it are staying the exact same. So when you zoom in, it doesn't change, so it doesn't change those measurements. What I completely did not notice with the second focal plane, like Sean's scope had, is when you zoom in and zoom out, the reticle changes. So the mil dots, the actual distance with them, changes on your target in your sight picture. So it's only at 1 power that it's true. And I didn't even realize it, Sean didn't even realize it until we were driving home, and we kind of blew the pooch on that one, kind of because we were actually trying to measure and correct on his turrets. We just goofed on it, and it didn't help. But at the same point, though, our impact should have been tighter even when we weren't moving it. Aiming at the same point, the bullet still should have gone into the same direction, and it didn't. Talking with the gunsmith at Sharpshooters USA where he works, there's some thoughts that could maybe be the muzzle brake. It's actually causing too much turbulence, causing wobble in the bullet. Another thing we noticed is some of the rounds that when we're kind of testing ammunition, where we actually made the overall length of the bullet a little bit longer and would not chamber in this rifle, chambered just fine in his, so we're almost wondering if there's a headspace problem with his rifle. And maybe the what's called jump, the distance from where the bullet's seated in the brass casing to when it comes out and enters the rifling of the barrel, that's called the jump. We're wondering if the headspace is so much at that jump, the bullet's actually allowing to go in cockeyed, so it already has wobble. If any of those, we start looking at this stuff and we still can't find the problem, Sean may just end up having the most badass paperweight there ever was. Don't know what more to say about it. We're going to try and do our best to figure out what it is. We'll hopefully be able to tell y'all, maybe show you how to diagnose something really well. If not, hey, we'll show you what not to do. In my videos, there's some videos I posted. There's some 4-shot training videos. I saw in some of the comments on Facebook, one person asked if I had too much Red Bull. What I was doing was I was trying to go as fast as I could with actually hitting where my point of impact was aimed, but I was trying to go so fast that my fine motor skills deteriorated to try and find out what I could do better, if there's ways I could compensate, similar to the way Georgia State Patrol and the FBI trains with semi-automatic handguns. On semi-automatic handguns, there's an actual lever that you can release. When the last round shoots, the slide comes all the way back and locks. And there's an actual lever that you can depress and it'll unlock it when you load the magazine. Well, because it's a small lever, and in a situation where you're having to shoot and defend yourself and fight for your life, that's a little bitty thing to try and press on. Well, what they do is they teach them to grab the slide, pull it back, so the slide release comes off on itself, and it will chamber the round. Same kind of thing. It's reducing how much of a fine motor action is required. So I was trying to really practice that, and you can actually see in the 4-shot video, I actually dropped the magazine. I purposefully wanted it to drop, take it out, and then have to put it back in to make my mind think about the magazine change. Well, I dropped it and fumbled. And that's just one of those things where, how do I improve upon this? And I've got some ideas. Not quite sure about it yet. Maybe it's just I need to get better at it. But that's what I was trying to do, and that's one reason I was shaky. I was just trying to go as fast as I could, and I was aiming at a 1/2-inch dot, and I had 4 of them set up, and I believe I hit 2 of the 4, and the other 2 I was maybe a 1/4 inch off, so I was kind of happy. And another thing I discovered too, and I was kind of shaky about, is when I expelled a round, one of them popped out, and it's a narrow little port. And I've been reading about Tikkas, and they're a little bit finicky. And I've noticed that, and that's why I know this rifle is a woman, is because she's a little finicky at times about some certain things. Not being mean to the ladies, just trying to make them have a little light of the situation. If you go too slow when ejecting a round or too fast, sometimes it'll cause the case to spin and actually come back in, or actually pop, or only half come out. And Tikka is made by Sako, and it's a Sako receiver barrel, and it's got a Sako style extractor. And I've read online that sometimes you gotta just be kind of quick and very committed when you open the bolt, and that helps get it out. One thing I've noticed, again, training, getting out to range, just practicing, developing, seeing what problems are in developing ways. One thing I've noticed is if a round does that, I can just tilt the rifle like this and not even really come out of my stance, and it comes right out. So that's one thing I've kind of learned. Another thing was kind of some of my body position, and I'm hoping some of that's going to change with the new stock. Again, it's still a little bit all over the place. So, but my point of impacts were real good. I believe I shot a half-inch 3-round group. So I felt that did very well. So we're going to see on Wednesday, I believe this upcoming Wednesday, Sean and I are going to go out and shoot the long range distances. We're going to shoot pry at 250, 300, 450, and 5. And I believe the range goes out to 525 out at Creekside. And but we're going to try to shoot 100-yard confirming 0. So we're going to let you know how that goes. And we'll see how we shoot then, and we'll kind of report back. We're also going to see if we can come up with a ballistics table that really matches what we've come up with in the math with the hand loading, and see if this really corresponds, that we can use this for the data. Sean and I are going to shoot the Creekside Sniper Challenge match. I believe it's June 7th. I have the date on the Facebook page. And then also I have the PTS Precision Rifle Series match, which will be my first Precision Rifle Series match in August. I believe it's in Cookeville, Tennessee, so I'm kind of really excited about that. I've noticed there's a couple other matches that have been opened up in the area on the website of Precision Rifle Series, so kind of playing around to see if, obviously working in public safety, money is kind of always tight, so kind of see if it might work out. If not, hey, no worries, still fun to go to the range and have fun with people. But we've also put up designs for barricade systems, so we're going to play around with that, see how heavy it actually ends up being, see if it's a feasible thing. If not, show other designs, and see if that works out, and kind of give you a review of, hey, is this something that you can build at home that you might like? Is this something that actually works out? Or, hey, this is junk, I wasted some money at Home Depot. And they probably should, at the amount of money I spend there, start giving me some stock options. But hey, it is what it is. But I hope you've liked this video. I'm still really learning how to do some videos, so you get a good laugh out of some of my goofiness and lack of tech ability on this. But I'm hoping these are starting to get a little bit better. And I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch this. If you'll share, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and head on over to the Facebook at Broadside of a Barn Precision. Like the page and share it, and hopefully share it with friends and families and people you shoot with, and we will hopefully see you next time, and thank you for watching.